Airplanes have an autopilot for a reason, and so should you. So automating your business is like building an autopilot for an airplane. Lots of learning and effort up front, after which you can cruise as long as you like. I'm Warwick Johnston from SunWiz, and today you're going to learn how to automate your solar business. In previous videos, we explained why to automate your solar business and what to automate. I'm going to focus on some things that are specific to the solar industry. First, you want to decide which of your software platforms you'll use as your hub, and the rest will be your spokes. Typically, your CRM will be your hub, but you could also consider using your solar software, such as OpenSolar, as your CRM and as your hub. OpenSolar already offers a pretty decent CRM functionality without the price tag. Now, next you want to decide who's going to do the implementation for you. Do you have the time and know how to learn how to implement and then do the implementation and then debug and maintain it? I reckon you'll save valuable time and avoid mistakes by using somebody who's done this many times before. SunWiz can perform the implementation for you if you wish. Next, decide whether you'll integrate your software using an API, which is going to require sophisticated programming skills and a thorough understanding of each software you connect, or whether you will use a platform like Zapier that provides instant connection to thousands of software platforms and a more understandable, process-driven interface for those of us who don't like programming. SunWiz are experts in OpenSolar's API, and we've also built a connection between OpenSolar and Zapier, so you can connect OpenSolar to most other software platforms. Now, SunWiz can provide you access to that Zapier connector that we made for OpenSolar, so you can trigger zaps off new, updated, or deleted projects or contacts, trigger off sending customers their proposal, customers viewing or accepting their proposal, email invitations sent to customer, a finance application assessed or updated, or any of action check buttons within OpenSolar's CRM. There's really a lot we can do with it. And the actions you can take include creating, updating, or deleting a contact or project, setting a project stage or an action checkbox, creating a transaction, updating a project notes, pulling in the proposal data, or actually generating a proposal. If you'd like to use the Zapier for OpenSolar, please contact sales at sunwiz.com.au. Now, the way of approaching any automation is to think first, what's my trigger? And then what's my sequence of actions? You'll need to check data completeness to see if there's an error, and then stop the action and notify your admin if you detect an error. And when something is updated in one place, make sure you're synchronizing so it updates in all the other places. Let's provide an example of this in action. We're going to run you through how to automatically generate an invoice in Xero when you check a box in OpenSolar. We've configured this OpenSolar account to have a Create Xero invoice checkbox within the checklist associated with the selling stage. So we've set up Zapier to listen to that Create Xero invoice button within OpenSolar. Then you pull the proposal data from OpenSolar. And so that you don't litter your precious accounting system with garbage data, there's a check in place to see if the OpenSolar project contains the information needed to create the invoice. If it doesn't, it's going to notify you by email. But if it does, first you need to create a contact in Xero, and then you need to create a sales invoice for them, making sure when you do so that the GST on STCs is handled correctly. The next process you can do is when a Xero invoice is marked as paid, you can firstly check that it's an invoice related to OpenSolar, and then note the payment within OpenSolar, meaning OpenSolar can provide you a unified view of your customer's position without having to log into another software platform. Next, if you're connecting OpenSolar to a CRM, you can store a link in the OpenSolar proposal in your CRM. And you can also ensure when your customer stage is modified in your CRM that your OpenSolar customer stage updates in sync. And to ensure the platforms stay in sync, you want any change in your OpenSolar stages to be reflected in your CRM. You can update your CRM when actions occur in OpenSolar, actions such as clicking the site visit checkbox, for example. There's plenty of others on the screen right now. And vice versa, updating OpenSolar's checkboxes when something occurs in your CRM, such as a site visit occurring. Now look, as you can see, even though Zapier makes automating your solar business possible for non-programmers, setting up everything correctly is still complex and time-consuming. But don't think this is a bad thing. This is just the barrier to entry into the Profit Autopilot Club of smart solar businesses. However, you should consider whether it's worthwhile concentrating on what you're best at and outsourcing this work to solar business experts. So to summarize, why automate? Automation is going to reduce the number of errors you make. They're going to free up your staff to use their talents, which is going to reduce staff turnover and training. All of that is going to increase your profitability and ultimately improve the value of your business. What to automate? We've run through a few in our separate video, but that includes your CRM, your invoicing and accounting, instant notifications when your customer engages with you, and having a customer engagement email automation series, integrating with your customer fulfillment software and whatever other software you're using, noting of course that OpenSolar can do a lot of these for you. And then on how, you need to decide on your hub and which are your spokes. You need to choose whether you're going to rely on coders, do it yourself, or use a solar business automation expert. If you're going to do it yourself, you need to consider what's your trigger, what are the actions, and how do you handle errors? And make sure you keep things in sync between whatever platforms you're using. Now, automations are just one of SunWiz's extensions to OpenSolar's capability. We'd like to invite you to discover all that's possible with SunWiz on OpenSolar on our extended IT page. Or for an effortless business elevation, we do it all for you solution, including the automations. Please check out SunWiz Accelerate.